Hello there, and welcome to the Chef's Kitchen. This is Cooking with the Chef, and this is our first episode, so we hope you enjoy it. Please leave some comments. Please let us know what you think, and even mail us. We'll have email on our on the site, so let us know what you think of it. Tonight we're going to make a beef bowl. Now I'm going to try to keep everything that I make in a reasonable amount, so you don't have to have a huge budget to make these things. I'm going to go through the ingredients and let you know what you need, how much, and about how much it's going to be. So we're going to start out with, first of all, you want to get about a pound of meat. And you want to get good beef. Now I got eye of round for this. You can use sirloin, but you need it cut fairly thin. And if you have a good butcher, they can cut it a lot thinner than this. This is probably about a quarter, a little less than a quarter of an inch. One a little thinner than that, but there's not a real good butchers around here. And depending on the meat, you're probably going to spend about $5 or $6 for a good roast to cut up for this. If you do it frozen, you can hand cut it and get it really thin. If you want it really thin, the thinner you get it, the better. Or you can get a butcher to cut it. Then you're going to need a tablespoon of sugar. You're going to need about 14 ounces of chicken broth. Now, if you want to, you can use what's called Ichiban dashi, and you can't find that here, so we have to go with the chicken broth, which is a perfect substitute for it. Then you're going to need a little bit of white wine, or if you can afford it and would like to go to the specialty shop, if you have one, sake, a third of a cup of either sake, and then a third of a cup of mirin. Now, those you both have to find at a specialty store that sells Japanese, Chinese, different items for cooking. I'm going with just a very cheap white wine. I'm actually, the cheaper the better if you're going with a white wine for that, because I believe with the sake has a very sharp taste to it. That wine, that if you buy a cheaper white wine, cooking wine, it'll have that sharper taste rather than an expensive cooking wine. So we're going with that. And you want to use, of course, Kikkoman. Always use Kikkoman soy sauce. It is the best soy sauce and the most close to anything you will actually find in the Orient. You're going to need one sweet onion, or white onion, yellow onion, anything that will work for that, which you might prefer a different taste. I'm going to be going with about 2/3 of this onion. I'm not going to use the whole onion. If you like a lot of onion, you can do more than an onion. You can do 1 1/2. All depends on how much onion you want in the broth that we're going to be making. Then, of course, you're going to need salt. You're going to need to make 8 cups of rice. You can use sticky rice, or you can use instant rice. I'm going to use instant rice because it's much quicker. And, of course, with instant rice, very easy. We'll go through it later. But it's 1 cup water for 1 cup of rice. And then just a little salt and butter depending on how much you're making. And then now that we've got all the ingredients, oh, and of course you need 2 tablespoons of butter to go into the rice when it's cooking. Now that we know what we need for all of that, first thing we're going to start out doing is I'm going to get the sauce prepared. And to do that, I'm using 2/3 cup of white wine, and I'm using 2/3 of a cup of soy sauce. I'm going to mix them in there together. And with the sugar, you can do it to taste. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of sugar, and we'll taste it a little later on once the onions have cooked into it, see how it tastes. It will have a faintly sweet taste to it. That's normal. That's how it's supposed to taste. Very much like a sweet spaghetti sauce is. Some people like them a little tart, and some a little sweet. Now the onion, what I'm going to do is I'm going to score it down into quarters and then slice it. That way you'll have very small, long pieces that are thin, and they'll cook down good, and you want them to be almost to the point of being mushy, but not quite there. You just want them very, very soft. You don't want a very hard onion when you bite into it. So we're just going to score this down about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way, and that's going to give you each of your small cuts, and we're just going to slice it down. And you want to be very careful that none of it goes on the floor. Use a very sharp knife. The sharper the knife you use, the less likely you are to get cut. Any good cook or chef will tell you that. I've even seen that on Emerald's show. I don't know if I can even say that, but I'm going to say it anyway.